Hello you guys, welcome to my channel. Woo! I cannot believe I'm actually saying that. So, last year I decided that it was time for me to actually start my own booktube channel, and the reason why I hadn't done it yet, it's because number one, I didn't know what I wanted my first video to be. For a few days I was like, okay, I'm going to just do the, what is it, the newbie booktuber tag. I think that is the name. But then I was watching a few videos and everyone literally has the same answer. Y'all already know why I'm doing this. It's because I love reading, it's because I love books, I want to talk about books. And since I don't have that many friends in real life that actually read, that's why I'm doing this. Y'all know that. My name is Jan. I am 25 years old and I mostly read thrillers, horror, and sometimes I do read romance. Not always though. Not always. Even though I'm actually getting more into romance lately. And yeah. So I do have a few questions that I asked my friends to send me because I didn't want to do the questions from the newbie booktuber tag. I didn't want to do that. So I'm going to be answering to those few questions during this video and maybe talk a little bit more about my reading taste, what you guys are going to find in this channel. So yeah, let's get to it. So the first question says, what is your favorite fantasy series? And to be honest, I don't even think that I have ever read a fantasy series in my life. I'm so sorry. I don't like fantasy. And I don't think if I ever tried to read a fantasy book, I think I wouldn't even understand it. Because, I don't know, I'm just dumb sometimes. But, I did read last year, Every Heart a Doorway. What is the name of the author? Shannon Maguire. Yeah, I think that's the name. So I did read that book, and I was planning on continuing on the series, and I actually really did enjoy it. But again, I don't like fantasy, and I never picked any of the other books up. So yeah, that is something that I might do in the future. I don't know yet. But also, another book that I read last year as well, it's Rules for Vanishing by Kate Alice Marshall. And I think this book has some fantasy elements to it. I think so. But I actually really enjoyed this book. Mostly because of the mystery side of it, but and also the horror, because it has some horror in it. This is a YA book. I'm not going to get into what the book is about because I don't want this video to be too long, and I do talk a lot. That's also one of the reasons why I decided to do this. And basically in this book we follow, I'm not going to get into what the book is about. Sarah and her sister apparently disappeared. Well, not apparently, I did already read the book. Her sister disappeared, and apparently and in this book there is this like part of the woods that once a year something happens, and then I think it's a portal. I don't know, if you go like deep into the woods you are not coming back. So this girl Sarah, it's on a mission to find out what happened to her sister. A lot of things happen in this book. I really enjoyed it. Okay, so the next question is, what book has been on your TBR the longest? This was by Kyla. Hi, Kyla. You're coming from my neck. So, a book that has been on my TBR for literally years, it's Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. When did this book come out? Oh my god, 2015. but I did buy it like probably a year after, and I still have not read it. Okay, so a book you love but wouldn't recommend. Boy. So this is going to be the only time that I'm going to be talking about this book in this channel. I don't think I will ever mention it again. This book right here. Now, this is not a recommendation. Don't read this book. Don't read it. But I do love this book. It's actually my favorite book of all time. Honestly, I don't even know what that says about me. But I think we all know what this book is about. I think we all know this book because it's... Come on. You can literally see all of the tabs that I have on this book. This was actually the first book that I tabbed. These tabs, the green tabs are like for sad moments, and then I ran out of tabs. And I had to start using the blue tabs. That's how tough this book is. And yeah, I would not recommend this book, but I love it. So the next question is, what was my favorite book of last year? So for this question, I do have two options. One is Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. And also Daisy Darker by Alice Finney. One day I wake up and Hidden Pictures is my favorite book of the year, last year. And then the next day I wake up and Daisy Darker is my favorite book of last year. Both of them are so good. And I just love them so freaking much. So the next question is, what book got you into reading? And so I used to read a lot when I was in high school. I mostly read romance. I know that can be shocking for a lot of people, but I did like romance back when I was a teenager. But then I went to college, I got my first job, and I didn't have time to read. But the book that actually got me into that got me back into reading, Pretty Little Liars. This is the first box set. I don't know if you can see the rest of the books here, but I own all of them. And also I have that little, that's the, for the show, that it's not a painting. I was going to say painting. Anyways, that's for the show, and it's signed by all of the 4 main actresses. I love them so much. I was obsessed with Pretty Little Liars when I was in high school. Shockingly, I didn't know that it was based on a series, on books, until like season 3. How didn't I know? But anyways, I was, this was a present from one of my best friends back in 2017, and I owned these books for years. I don't think it's perfect, it has so many flaws, but I do love the way that some things are executed in the books more than I enjoy them in the show. And yeah, after I read all 16 books of this series, and I read them in a month and like 2 weeks, I needed to read more. I needed to get more books. I needed to find more books that I love. I just came here to YouTube and I started looking for book recommendations, and I came across one of Gabby's videos, and I think it was a book recommendation, thriller books recommendation. I'm not sure, but on that video she talked about The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides, and I was really intrigued about that book, and I bought it, and I was obsessed. I was obsessed. And yeah, after that I've just been reading a lot. So yeah, that's how I got back into reading. Hi, it's a different angle. So I thought that it would be cool to kind of give you like an overview of my bookshelf. I only have one because, as I mentioned, I only got back into reading like almost 3 years ago, and I thought it would be cool to give you an overview of the books that I have on my bookshelf. And yeah, let's just do that. So I'm not going to go over every book that I have on my bookshelf, but I did want to mention that I also am starting to grow a DVD collection because I also love horror movies, and these are the movies that I have so far. I was going to buy a shelf for the DVDs, but since I don't have that many, I didn't think it was necessary right now, but I definitely will in the future. These are the movies that I have currently, and these are some of my favorite movies of all time. Okay, you guys, so that was it for my first video. I know that there's a lot of things that I need to learn. That's why I just decided to start doing it. Not really expecting for everything to be perfect, because I know that this is something that I would need to get used to. I'm not used to talking to a camera. And yeah, I just, if you have any advices, just leave them in the comments. And yeah, I'll try not to be so hard on myself when it comes to this, because at the end of the day, I'm just doing this as a hobby, and yeah, I'll just learn little by little what I need to learn. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're having a great day today. Bye.
Now, let's all collectively make fun of me.
Have I been looking at the camera this whole time? Because I think I was looking at the viewfinder. And also I have, where is it? But oh boy. Is this focused? Okay you guys, so that was his. Maybe talk a little bit of, maybe talk of that.